So when it comes to this story, I this is a tough one, but as I just looking through the questions and thinking about how to characterize the fear of the people and his questions and how the board handled things and this idea of forgiveness and trust. First, I think the people, I think they have, I mean, rightfully so, they are fearful that something bad could happen to their children with this, with uh, bill around, and totally understandable. I also would like to even consider and even characterize this as maybe a bit rash, and and not getting not giving the person a chance, and giving Bill a chance in any way. And honestly, like, it's tough because I work with kids, and I want to protect them, and I want to make sure that they have a safe place to be, but I never want to be the person that makes someone stumble. And I wonder if that was the case. Now, I don't want to make assumptions about the reason why this man got back into some of the things and stopped communicating with the board. But I wonder, I genuinely wonder, could that have been a byproduct of the people not giving him a chance? Like, the only thing he knows and the one thing he's hoping for is that, uh, first, the one thing he knows is that he's been rejected. He's always been rejected. And now he's seeking acceptance and love and care and someone to disciple and to guide him. And before that even happens, the people look at his past and label him by his past, and not trusting and believing in the transformative work that God can do in someone. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that, they should blindly just trust him, because I do think there has to be a level of forgiveness, but I do think trust is earned. And so I think in terms of how they work together, I think forgiveness always has to happen, because, I mean, God calls us to forgive our brothers. I mean, look at Matthew. Look in Matthew, where Jesus gives, where if you don't forgive your brother, then he will not forgive you. And one of the things that pops into mind is Galatians 6, where Paul is talking about gently bringing somebody in, those who have fallen in sin, but also telling us to watch that we don't fall into the same thing, but carrying each other's burdens. And I understand that maybe he's more specifically talking about believers, but I think it can also translate to unbelievers. Like, we have to walk alongside them, and we have to give them a chance to grow in their faith. And I wonder if the reason why he got back into some of the things is because here's now another place that doesn't accept me. And so I've got to now do things that feel accepting and are going to fulfill the hole in my heart. And I also think, and maybe that the board and the pastor maybe didn't go about this in the best way, in terms of them doing this rotation. I think at some point maybe a delegation should have happened, and that would take time, and that would take someone you would trust, just like Moses in Exodus, where he had to begin to delegate some things. And the same in Acts, where the apostles had to delegate things. I think if they delegated, that would have helped them try to figure out better ways to navigate through this relationship and this scenario that was had. I don't necessarily know if what they did was the right thing. I think that was just the best thing that they could have done. Now, I definitely think that Bill should never be in any situation where he's with children alone. Maybe I don't necessarily know if the drastic measure would be they can't be in any service with any children. I don't know, but I mean, they'll never serve in kids. They'll never serve in the nursery. Um, uh, but how do we continue to have conversation about what does that look like? That, I mean, it'd be the same for someone who's an alcoholic. You would not put them in any situation where they would be around alcohol for a time being, and because, yeah, though they are forgiven for their abuse, or whatever happens, but you've got to put them in space and places where they're not going to fall. And so I think in this instance, though hard, I think in some they were rash and too quick to judge, and it really kind of showed where they believed about the transformative work. But I think he navigated it the best way he could. Yeah.